new questions this morning over some national education standards. Are they putting politics into our children's classrooms? Here to discuss, the Executive Director of the Pioneer Institute, Jim Stergios. Welcome, Jim, and good morning.
Good morning.
So this classroom, apparently, that we're talking about today was asked to, it's a 5th grade class, and they were asked to edit sentences about the duties of the U.S. President, right? And this bothered you.
That's
this
right.
is part of the core curriculum here, and Common Standard. So Common Core lessons is your concern. What about their lesson actually bothered you?
Well, you know, they have 3 sentences there that tell you a lot about how they're looking at American civics. First thing, what they're saying is that the president is someone who ensures the fairness of the laws. In fact, frankly, that's factually incorrect. It's the judiciary that does it in accordance with amendments to the Constitution itself. If you take a look, for example, at the idea that the values of, or the wishes of an individual should be subsumed under those of the nation, that's really antithetical to a couple of key concepts that were embraced by the founders. One is free enterprise, and the other is ambition. And you know, there are other things in there, as well as the last one really is, we should obey as citizens the commands of our government officials.
Right, that was one thing the children were asked to take these sentences, take a word, and simplify them. So it wasn't as though this was part of a broader study, but they were asked to sort of make these sentences more simple. What you're saying is what they're being taught is not sentence structure simplification. It's actually something that is not in line with what our country's about. That's
correct. I mean, on that last one, think about it for a second. If MLK listened to them, we wouldn't have the kind of equality of opportunity in this country. We're not a country that is commanded by government officials. We're a country that is governed by the rule of law. These are bad lessons, and frankly, it's really odd to see these kinds of lessons shoehorned into an English curriculum.
Sure.
Right? English curricula are usually about literature.
So we have one example. You alluded to some. The first example that we had here was, and we're going to throw it up on screen now, the president makes sure the laws of the country are fair. Your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that are clearly that that's the role of the judiciary.
Right. Right, and so that obviously something that is not correct being taught to the kids. Next we have number 2, the wants of the individual are less important than the well-being of the nation.
That's right. As noted before, that's really antithetical to 2 core values that were embraced by the founders. I mean, free enterprise is what has led to our success as a country, and frankly, if you take a look at the founders' writings, they talk an awful lot about the fact that all people are ambitious. Our system of laws, our separation of powers, are there in place to make sure that we can have a system that works given human nature.
And as you mentioned before, the commands of government officials must be obeyed by all. Another sentence they were asked to correct.
That's right. That's right. So I mean, the larger issues here, Elizabeth, are a couple things. One is, it's odd to see this stuff shoehorned into an English curriculum. The second thing is, if you step back for a second, Common Core vendors, there are many different ones.
Right.
This is Pearson Education. And Pearson is not a fly-by-night operation. It's one of the largest materials vendors to schools. So in a way, this is probably the highest, this is on the upper end of the spectrum in terms of quality of Common Core offerings.
Absolutely, you know? And certainly something that parents appreciate you keeping an eye on in terms of what's going on in the classroom. Jim, thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.